Good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's session. The market is really testing our patience. Exactly 2 years ago, in September 2024, earnings were not meeting expectations, and in many cases, did not justify the valuations the market was commanding. That time the index was around 26,000. However, the macro environment was extremely supportive. Crude was around $70 per barrel. The US 10-year bond yield was around 3.5%, and the dollar index was around 100. The rupee was trading at 83 to the dollar. Today, the equation has changed significantly. Earnings have improved, but the macro environment has become much more challenging. These are the kind of the markets that truly taste an investor's patience. However, years of experience have taught us that when earnings starts improving, they deserve greater weightage in our assessment. Um, Improving earnings can help limit the downside in the market. And once the macro environment begins to normalize, the same earnings strength can provide a strong foundation for the next leg of upside. The most important factor at this stage is that the downside remains limited. As long as investors remain confident that the downside is contained, they stay engaged and remain in the race. To understand exactly how Q1 FY27 has shaped up, we have Rini with us, who will take us through the earnings performance in detail. After that, we will be happy to address your queries. Over to you, Rini.
Thank you, sir, and good evening, everyone. So, I would like to start with a quote by Peter Lynch. So, he once said that you should look at only three things in a company: earnings, earnings, and earnings. So, and his basic message was very simple because eventually companies' earnings decide the value of a stock. So, today we will see what first quarter earnings were like and what happened in the sectors and companies. I would request for the PPT once, just a couple of minutes. Okay. So next slide, please. So let me set the context first. So first quarter was not exactly a quiet quarter. Amid the ongoing US-Iran war, crude went from around $120 to $70 and then back towards $100. As the West Asian situation, which was there, that kept changing. So obviously there was a lot of uncertainty. But despite all that, first quarter results came in better than expected. We will see why, and was this just a one quarter surprise, or is something actually changing? Next slide, please. So first, अगर broad headline numbers देखें तो frankly they were quite good. निफ्टी कंपनीज का पैट और प्रॉफिट जो था इट ग्रू 17.7% compared to the last year same quarter versus our expectation of just 10.4%. सो अब अगर हम हमारे कवरेज कंपनीज का यूनिवर्स को देखते हैं तो इट्स इवन मोर इंटरेस्टिंग. पैट ग्रू 10.5% versus we were actually expecting an 8% decline. Yes, so you can see that's a fairly big swing. And then if we take out the oil companies, so PAT growth was actually 24.7% versus our expectation of 14.8. So yes, oil companies ने काफी help किया. But even excluding oil companies, the earnings performance was better than expected. And Nifty EBITDA also grew 15.7% versus 12.2% expected. Overall, first quarter was clearly a better quarter than we had anticipated. Next slide. So now where did this surprise come from? We had some very good performances from the commodity side actually. So Hindalco, JSW Steel, Tata Steel, Coal India, these were good performances. Then SBI, ICICI Bank were among the positive surprises. Reliance also did better than expected. And then we had some interesting positives outside these obvious names. Asian Paints, Nestle, Sun Pharma, and Adani Ports, for example. So the reasons were different. For some companies, it was better commodity prices, for some better margins, for some volume or company specific factors. We will look at it sector wise in detail in the upcoming slides. So the beat wasn't coming from just one pocket of the market, there was some breadth to it. So let's look at that breadth. Next slide. Across the stocks we track, 150 stocks beat estimates by more than 5%. 93 were broadly in line and 71 missed by more than 5%. There were quite a few positive surprises, but at the same time, we did have some meaningful misses. Dr. Reddy's lab, Wipro, Tata Motors, PV, Indigo, and Eternal were among them. So while the recovery is becoming visible, but it's still uneven. And that brings me to what I think is the important takeaway from Q1. Next slide. Yeah, so this slide gives the real texture behind the headline beat. The recovery is broadening. It's not just one or two sectors driving it, right? So lenders are seeing stronger credit growth with the focus now shifting towards profitability and returns. Consumers are also seeing better demand, while companies are managing cost pressures through pricing and cost levers. But there are still some margin pangs. Capital goods saw decent revenue growth, but margins remained weak. And IT had a tough quarter with Gen AI-led pricing deflation adding to the pressure. Pharma, on the other hand, was a clean positive with strong domestic demand. So overall, the recovery is broadening, but profitability isn't improving everywhere yet, particularly in capital goods and IT. Next slide. Now moving a bit from Q1, looking ahead for FY27, crude is probably the biggest macro variable for us. Our base case assumes crude at around $85 with FY27 GDP growth at 6.5%. But if the West Asia conflict drags on and crude moves towards say $105, GDP growth could slow to around 5.5 to 6%, while inflation could move towards 5.5 6%. So basically, the longer the conflict, the better the macro risk, the bigger the macro risk. And alongside crude, the monsoon is another variable to watch because weaker rainfall could put pressure on food prices and inflation. Next slide, please. So, next slide. Yeah. So, despite these risks, the earnings outlook remains quite encouraging. Nifty earnings growth is expected to move from 8% in FY26 to 7.5% in FY27 and 14% in FY28. So, yes, FY27 is shaping up to be a much better earnings year. But again, there's a caveat. The quality of incremental profits is somewhat weak because commodity sectors are expected to contribute significantly to the earnings increase. So the question for the next 3 quarters is, can this earnings growth become more broad and sustainable? Next slide. And finally, let's talk about valuations here. So at the index level, things look a lot more comfortable than they did earlier. Nifty is trading at reasonable multiples after derating in certain sectors. Next slide, please. If you see Nifty is at around 22.7 times FY26 earnings, which comes down to 19.7 times FY27 and 17.2 times FY28. So at the headline level, the market doesn't look very expensive. But if you look closer and zoom in, Once you start looking stock by stock, the picture is different. Banks और IT ने meaningful re-rating देखी थी, right? But consumption और investment related stocks जो है, they are still trading at rich valuations. और mid and small cap stocks भी trade कर रहे हैं at a significant premium at large caps. So basically, top-down valuations look reasonable. Bottom-up, you still need to be careful. And that's why at this stage of the cycle, stock selection becomes quite important. Next slide. So if we step back and see, uh, this is really the broad message from first quarter. Earnings came quite good. The beat was broad. Three margins still a weak link. Fourth, FY27 looks strong but concentrated. And lastly, valuations demand selectivity as we discussed. And within this broad picture, different sectors are telling us very different stories. So rather than spending more time on the aggregate numbers, let's now go on sector by sector. I'll quickly take you through chemicals and healthcare. Starting with chemicals. So chemicals ka first quarter was another quarter of windfall gains, but the story wasn't uniform. Several chemical producers, benefited from war-related price inflation. The interesting part was that they were still carrying some low-cost raw material inventory in this quarter. So higher selling prices translated into a temporary margin windfall. On the other hand, if you see agrochemicals, they faced a very different problem. The delayed monsoon meant a slow start to Kharif sowing, which hurt demand. Now, the key point going ahead is that these windfall gains are unlikely to last. So companies move to higher cost inventory, right? So margins should correct in second quarter. For AgChem though, we see some recovery in second quarter as sowing picks up and easy base kicks in. So overall, we remain cautious on the sector overall, but selectively prefer Jubilant Ingravia, Godrej Agrovet, SH Kelkar and Clean Science. Coming to healthcare. Next slide, please. So first quarter for healthcare was a pretty solid quarter. Hospitals saw broad-based revenue growth of around 21% year-on-year, driven by a good combination of higher patient volumes, better RPOB or average revenue per occupied bed, and contribution from newly added beds. So importantly, growth wasn't just coming from higher pricing, volumes were also holding up quite well. The only slight catch was on margins. Now, in healthcare, in hospitals, new beds are still in the ramp up phase. So, while hospital EBITDA grew 22%, margins were broadly flat. Diagnostics was also quite strong with 18% revenue growth and 29% EBITDA growth, helped by volume growth, better realizations, and continued B2C traction. So overall, healthcare had a strong quarter. We prefer Apollo Hospitals, Rainbow, Narayana, and Medanta in hospital space, and Dr. Lal and Metropolis from diagnostic space. So with that, I'll hand it over to Amarjeet, who will take us through the metal sector. Thank you.
Thank you, Rini. So our next sector is metal and mining. So during the quarter, the sector has reported a strong number on the EBITDA and bottom line front, and the sector's consolidated EBITDA in our coverage stood around 944 billion versus 661 billion expected, and which is 43% beat due to the better realization, and which resulted into that number translated into the bottom line, and which is shown around 103% growth, which is around 402 billion PAT number, and ahead of the our expectation was 321 billion. So number was strong, and if you will see the company wise, so Jindal Steel has reported a strong number on the EBITDA front, and due to the higher volume, and JSW also reported a EBITDA, strong EBITDA in ahead of our estimates. Mainly the reason was realization Tata Steel has also reported a strong number on the operating performance, both in line with the both India and Europe level. On the non-ferrous front, with uh, uh, sorry, non-ferrous front, our sector Vedanta Aluminum has reported a strong number, which is higher margin, but they have slightly reported a lower volume as per our expectation. And Hindalco Industry, the company has reported a consolidated level EBITDA beat estimate across the copper and aluminum division, and Novelis reported adjusted EBITDA, which was in line with our estimates. So अगर आप देखोगे नेशनल एल्युमिनियम कंपनी विच इज ऑल्सो स्ट्रॉन्ग नंबर ऑन द एल्युमिनियम मार्जिन फ्रंट. So going ahead, what we are expecting on the steel as well as non-ferrous front, strong numbers. अगर हम देखें तो नवंबर 2025 के बाद से प्राइजेस बढ़े हैं. मेनली रीजन वाज दैट सेफ गार्ड ड्यूटी. गवर्नमेंट हैज इंट्रोड्यूस अगेन सेफ गार्ड ड्यूटी विच वाज impacted the overall realization. एंड उसकी वजह से वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग गोइंग अहेड द रियलाइजेशन स्टील में आता रहेगा, बढ़ता रहेगा. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट ऑल्सो वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग बेटर ग्रोथ इन द टर्म्स ऑफ वॉल्यूम, बिकॉज 7 to 8% ग्रेजुअली डिमांड बढ़ता रहेगा, तो वहाँ पे ग्रोथ आएगा वॉल्यूम फ्रंट पे. एंड ऑन द नॉन फेरस फ्रंट वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग जो भी हायर वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग हायर ग्लोबल एल्यूमिनियम प्राइसेस, बिकॉज supply or demand mismatch, because demand is better and also supply deficit. So यहाँ पे prices बढ़ेंगे एल्युमिनियम के. So overall we are expecting steel as well as non ferrous front, यहाँ पे realization better होंगे going ahead and better volume growth. So overall we are positive on the sector, and our top picks is Jindal Steel and Vedanta Aluminium Limited and Hindalco. So for the next sector, over to Amit.
Thank you, Amarjeet. I will take you through consumer staples. We have an overall cautious stance on the sector. Q1 27, we saw a strong revenue growth across staples and paint categories. It was primarily led by price increase and also companies getting some benefit from channel stocking and also some share gains from the unorganized players. Underlying demand is very steady. Overall, for staples, we saw revenue growing around 14% year on year. Uh, Steady underlying demand. Margin trends were slightly divergent depending on companies' exposure to crude and palm linked raw material, price hikes taken by the company, and use of low cost inventory by companies, and also advertisement and promotion expenditure done by each company. Within discretionary, we saw good recovery across sectors. Paint demand especially was very strong. It was led by stable demand trends and price hikes. Decorative paint volume grew approximately mid teen digit for most companies. We saw strong volume growth from Berger Paints, Nerolac, Asian Paints, and even Grasim. QSR witnessed improved growth trends. We saw a good run up in QSR companies during the quarter. In footwear, we saw Metro Campus posting healthy revenue growth. Jewelry also witnessed a strong growth. Alcobev also reported a strong growth. Overall, we saw a strong quarter from companies like Titan, Nestle, Pidilite, Marico, Honasa, Bluestone, and RBA. Our preferred picks in the sector are Pidilite, Britannia, United Spirits, and also Varun Beverages. Over to Arun.
Yeah, thanks, Amit. Quickly on two sectors. One is auto. We'll start with the auto one. Here overall, this quarter was very, very strong when you look at the volume growth. अगर आप overall two wheelers, commercial vehicles, passenger vehicles, आप कोई भी segment देख लीजिए, volume growth बहुत strong रहा ये quarter में. And on, because the volume growth was strong, we saw a very, very strong revenue growth for all the OEMs under our coverage and also for all the ancillary companies as well. So अगर हम हमारी जितनी भी companies under coverage है, अगर we take all put together, the revenues actually grew by almost 20% on a year-on-year basis. So that's a very strong revenue growth. However, the profitability trend, so अगर हम gross margin देखें, EBITDA margin देखें या net profit देखें, वहां पर जो ट्रेंड था वो बहुत मिक्स रहा था. नो इसका बहुत बड़ा प्राइम रीजन ये है बिकॉज कि आपका जो रॉ मटेरियल कॉस्ट है वो काफी शार्पली इंक्रीज हुआ था फॉर लॉट ऑफ कंपनीज इसमें. सेकेंड एक इम्पैक्ट था फॉरेक्स का भी हेडविंड था बिकॉज रुपी हैज depreciated and that means imported raw material would have faced additional pressure there. So overall, in terms of gross profit, again, we saw while the revenue growth was very strong, the gross profit growth moderated for most of the companies. Revenue growth में only couple of companies were there like Ola Electric from our coverage and Hyundai, which didn't show growth, but everyone else show growth. But यहाँ पर अगर हम again gross profit में भी आते हैं, again most companies did show growth, but as compared to revenue, lot of companies का growth थोड़ा कम हो गया वहां पर आके. नाउ EBITDA पर अगर हम आते हैं विच इज ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट, वहां पर हम देखें तो ट्रेंड बहुत मिक्स हो गया था. तो देयर लॉट ऑफ कंपनीज विच फेस्ड लॉट ऑफ प्रेशर एंड उसके वजह से EBITDA बहुत सारे काफी कंपनीज थी, इनफैक्ट कुछ कंपनीज थी जिन्होंने डिक्लाइन भी दिखाया है EBITDA में. और पैट पर भी आप देखेंगे अगेन नेट प्रॉफिट पर भी परफॉर्मेंस काफी मिक्स रहा था. नाउ गोइंग फॉरवर्ड व्हाट वी एक्सपेक्ट फ्रॉम दिस सेक्टर. नाउ Q1 में वॉल्यूम ग्रोथ वाज स्ट्रॉन्ग, रेवेन्यू ग्रोथ वाज स्ट्रॉन्ग, EBITDA margin and profit was mixed. I think going forward in Q2 as well, अगर हम Q2 में जा रहे हैं और FY27 देखेंगे तो अगेन Q2 में so far जो जुलाई के भी वॉल्यूम नंबर्स आए हैं वो काफी स्ट्रॉन्ग रहे हैं and hopefully that should sustain in August and September as well, which means कि revenue growth should be strong, but margin performance we believe still in the near term could remain a bit mixed for most of the company. जस्ट वन थिंग वी वुड लाइक टू हाईलाइट हियर कि सेकेंड हाफ ऑफ दिस ईयर यानी अक्टूबर के बाद से आपका लास्ट ईयर का बेस बहुत बड़ा हो जाएगा, विच मीन्स वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग कि जो ग्रोथ है, जो रेवेन्यू ग्रोथ है या वॉल्यूम ग्रोथ है, वो फर्स्ट हाफ के मुकाबले जो हम स्ट्रॉन्ग ग्रोथ देख रहे हैं वो उससे थोड़ी कम हो जाएगी. सो ये स्पेस में हम सिलेक्टिवली पॉजिटिव हैं कंपनीज के ऊपर. वन ऑफ द कंपनीज दैट वी लाइक एंड वी हैव बीन टॉकिंग अबाउट इन द पास्ट एज वेल इज महिंद्रा एंड महिंद्रा. टू व्हीलर स्पेस में हमें आयशर मोटर्स और टीवीएस मोटर्स अच्छा लगता है. बट अगेन बोथ ऑफ दीज कंपनीज के लिए आप थोड़ा करेक्शंस देखिए बिकॉज दोनों स्टॉक्स हमारे फेयर वैल्यू के आसपास ट्रेड हो रहे हैं, तो ये करेक्शंस पे बोथ ऑफ द स्टॉक्स कैन बी लुक्ड एट. एंड हमें कमर्शियल व्हीकल स्पेस में टाटा मोटर्स कमर्शियल व्हीकल वी आर पॉजिटिव ऑन दैट वन. नेक्स्ट है सीमेंट में भी अगेन सिमिलर स्टोरी व्हाट वी सॉ इन ऑटोज. सो अगर हम वॉल्यूम वाइज देखें काफी सारी कंपनी जो भी हमारे कवरेज में कंपनीज है वहां पर मोस्ट कंपनीज ने अच्छा वॉल्यूम ग्रोथ दिया था एक्सेप्ट फॉर अंबुजा को आप देखें वहां पर थोड़ा एक डिक्लाइन रहा था, बट अदरवाइज एंड नुवोको में ग्रोथ थोड़ी स्लो रही थी. बट ओवरऑल वट एवर कंपनीज वी कवर्ड उनका आप क्यूमुलेटिव देखेंगे तो 8.3% वॉल्यूम ग्रोथ रहा था. And JSW Cement saw the maximum growth of 26% in volume during the quarter. अगेन रियलाइजेशन ट्रेंड मिक्स रहे थे, तो कुछ कुछ जोन्स में हमने देखे थे कि किसी किसी कंपनीज के रियलाइजेशन इम्प्रूव हुए हैं, बट जो ग्रोथ रही है रियलाइजेशन में वो डिफरेंट रही थी. और बिकॉज कॉस्ट प्रेशर भी सीमेंट कंपनीज के ऊपर काफी था एक क्वार्टर में बिकॉज हमने रॉ मटेरियल और एनर्जी कॉस्ट में इंक्रीज देखी थी, तो उसके वजह से प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी है EBITDA पर टन ट्रेंड अगेन मिक्स था. ऑन अ YY बेसिस मतलब लास्ट कंपेयरिंग टू फर्स्ट क्वार्टर ऑफ लास्ट ईयर से हम देखेंगे तो मोस्ट ऑफ द कंपनीज डेफिनेटली रिपोर्टेड लोअर EBITDA per ton because of the sharp increase in input cost that we have seen in the past 1 year. Now we have also हमने भी हमें हमारे assumptions थोड़े से कम किए हैं कुछ कुछ कंपनीज को because raw material energy cost थोड़े हायर लेवल पे. सेकेंड क्वार्टर में भी वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग सिमिलर ट्रेंड्स जहां पर थोड़ा सा कॉस्ट प्रेशर बना रहेगा, बट होपफुली सिचुएशन रिमेन्स द सेम. Second half में we should see some improvement in EBITDA per ton for cement companies. But again the main assumption here would be कि यहाँ से अभी और raw material prices या energy cost नहीं बढ़ते हैं, तो क्योंकि हमने एक चीज जो पॉजिटिव देखी है वो सीमेंट प्राइस में हमने रिसेंट मंथ्स में थोड़ा अपटिक देखा है या थोड़ा इंक्रीज देखे हैं जनरली बिकॉज मानसून थोड़ा वीक पीरियड होता है, वो वीक पीरियड में हमने सीमेंट प्राइस में इंक्रीज देखे, तो दैट वी बिलीव इज अ बिट पॉजिटिव. इंडस्ट्री लेवल पर हम देखें तो कैपेसिटी यूटिलाइजेशन अराउंड 70% रहेगी विच इज क्वाइट डिसेंट. बट सीमेंट कंपनीज के साथ जस्ट वन थिंग वी ऑलवेज लाइक टू हाईलाइट दैट इनकी जो अर्निंग्स होती हैं वो बहुत सेंसिटिव होती हैं, अर्निंग्स इनकी जो हमारे प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी असम्पशंस होते हैं उनके ऊपर. तो अगर कभी कभी जैसे कॉस्ट बहुत शार्पली इंक्रीज हो जाता है तो इनकी EBITDA पर टन और नेट प्रॉफिट्स काफी इंपैक्ट होते हैं उसमें, वाइस वर्सा है. तो ये स्पेस में वैल्यूएशन हमें मेजॉरिटी कंपनीज के थोड़े हायर लेवल पे लगते हैं, बट विद इन दैट स्पेस अगर हमें एक दो कंपनीज जो थोड़ा वैल्यूएशन पे ठीक लगती है वो एक JSW सीमेंट है और नुवोको वेस्टा कॉर्प. That's it from my end. Over to Pankaj.
थैंक यू अरुण। तो रियल एस्टेट की बात करें तो ओवरऑल तो हमारे सेक्टर पे अट्रैक्टिव व्यू है, लेकिन अगर ये क्वार्टर की बात करें तो इनफैक्ट इन द प्रीव्यू ऑल्सो वी सेड दैट दिस क्वार्टर विल बी अ वीक क्वार्टर इन टर्म्स ऑफ प्री सेल्स, बिकॉज यहाँ दो फैक्टर है। ऑफ कोर्स रियल एस्टेट प्राइसेस सर्टेन पॉकेट्स में लाइक एनसीआर वगैरह में काफ़ी इंक्रीज हुए हैं, प्लस सेकेंड थिंग की लॉन्चेस जो हैं वीक रही हैं रिलेटिवली इस क्वार्टर में। एंड एक और बड़ी फैक्टर थी कि लास्ट ईयर का जो बेस था डीएलएफ एंड प्रेस्टीज ने जो बहुत बड़ा ग्रोथ दिखाया था, ये साल उनका बेस इफेक्ट आया है, उसकी वजह से ओवरऑल वी हैव सीन मोर देन 30% डिक्लाइन इन द प्रीसेल्स फॉर आवर कवरेज यूनिवर्स। डिमांड जैसा मैंने कहा कि प्राइसेस इंक्रीज हुए हैं तो टियर वन प्लेयर्स के लिए थोड़ा सा वीक ही रहा है, और सिक्स मेजर जो मेट्रोज है वहाँ पर लॉन्चेस एंड वॉल्यूम्स भी थोड़ा शांत रहे इस क्वार्टर में काफ़ी हद तक। इन्वेंट्री इंक्रीज हुई है, अराउंड मोर देन 20 मंथ्स इन्वेंट्री हम ऑन एंड एवरेज देख रहे हैं, जिसमें सबसे ज़्यादा हैदराबाद मार्केट में हम देख रहे हैं, इवन एनसीआर में भी मोर देन 20 मंथ्स हमें दिख रहा है। स्टीप प्राइस जो इंक्रीज हुई है पर्टिकुलरली इन एनसीआर एंड सेकेंडली बैंगलोर, ये दो मार्केट में काफ़ी बड़े इंक्रीज हमने देखा है प्राइस लास्ट वन पर्टिकुलरली 1 ईयर में। तो ओवरऑल एक अफोर्डेबिलिटी पे कंसर्न्स आ रहे हैं। लेकिन अगर हम लॉन्च पाइपलाइन देखें, जितने भी लिस्टेड डेवलपर्स हैं जो हमारे कवरेज में, इनके लॉन्च पाइपलाइन काफ़ी स्ट्रांग है। मैनेजमेंट ने मोरलेस अपने गाइडेंस मेंटेन रखे हैं। कंपनीज लाइक लोधा, प्रेस्टीज, गोदरेज, so overall these all players are expecting very good growth in the coming quarters as well. इसमें अगर वैल्यूएशंस देखें तो वैल्यूएशंस ये अट्रैक्टिव लग रही है हमें, क्योंकि स्टॉक्स काफ़ी बहुत सारे स्टॉक्स ने अंडर परफॉर्म भी किया है। तो हमारा जो प्रेफर्ड पिक है वो डीएलएफ है, शोभा एंड लोधा है एट द करंट लेवल। नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज। कैपिटल गुड्स पे ओवरऑल हमारा कॉशियस व्यू है। अगर ये इस क्वार्टर की बात करें तो वी हैव सीन अ डिसेंट रेवेन्यू ग्रोथ, 13% वाई रेवेन्यू ग्रोथ दिखा है। ऑर्डर इनफ्लोज मिक्स दिखे हैं। एलएनटी की बात करें तो एलएनटी ने भी मिक्स ऑर्डर ट्रेंड्स दिखाए हैं। जो कन्वेंशनल एनर्जी सेगमेंट है वहाँ पर डिक्लाइन आया है, लेकिन जो अदर सेगमेंट्स है लाइक ऑफशोर विंड, वहाँ पर काफ़ी बड़ा एक ट्रैक्शन देखा है इस क्वार्टर में, बहुत बड़े ऑर्डर आए हैं। और मिडिल ईस्ट पे भी कंपनी ने कहा है कि एज ऑफ नाउ जो दे आर द थिंग्स आर मैनेजेबल। ओनली थिंग कि जो सप्लाई चेन का जो इम्पैक्ट हुआ है उसकी वजह से एक थोड़ा इम्पैक्ट दिखा है इन Q1। गाइडेंस मेंटेन रखी है एलएनटी ने। एबीबी की बात करें तो काफ़ी अच्छा ऑर्डर इनफ्लोस में ग्रोथ दिखा है, मोर देन 50% ग्रोथ दिखा है। थर्मेक्स ने भी काफ़ी अच्छा ऑर्डर बुकिंग दिखाया है। तो ऑर्डर बुकिंग तो ये कंपनी ने अच्छे दिखाया, लेकिन अगर मार्जिन्स की बात करें तो अक्रॉस द सेगमेंट वी हैव सीन मार्जिन्स में एक प्रेशर आया है। इसमें एक बड़ा फैक्टर रॉ मटेरियल प्राइसेस का भी रहा है, और जो अभी जो मिडिल ईस्ट में जो कंसर्न चल रहे हैं उसकी वजह से भी इम्पैक्ट आया है, बिकॉज बहुत सारे ऑर्डर्स जो है वो फिक्स प्राइस बेसिस पे होते हैं, तो वहाँ पर एक इम्पैक्ट आ जाता है। तो मार्जिन्स पे कंसर्न्स है। जो अभी स्ट्रीट में अगर देखेंगे तो काफ़ी पॉजिटिव व्यू है कैपिटल गुड्स सेक्टर के पे, एंड वी हैव सीन द स्टॉक्स हैव डन वेल, दे आर ट्रेडिंग एट अ वेरी हाई वैल्यूएशन एज वेल। इसमें एक बड़ा जो एक्सपेक्टेशन है स्ट्रीट का कि कैपेक्स कंटिन्यू रहेगा, लेकिन हमारा जो हमने एनालिसिस किया हमारे हिसाब से वी सी सम डाउनसाइड रिस्क टू सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट कैपेक्स, पर्टिकुलरली जो ऑयल प्राइसेस इंक्रीज हुए तो उसका एक इम्पैक्ट हो सकता है ऑन द कैपेक्स साइड और फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट साइड। But the private sector capex are expected to remain strong. This is led by some of those incentive scheme to certain sectors which the government has announced. तो वो प्राइवेट सेक्टर को के कैपेक्स को बूस्ट करती है, पर्टिकुलरली इन द एनर्जी पावर सेगमेंट, रिन्यूएबल स्पेस एंड सम ऑफ द मैन्युफैक्चरिंग स्पेस लाइक ईएमएस और सेमीकंडक्टर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, यहाँ पर हम काफ़ी कैपेक्स देख रहे हैं। तो ये यहाँ पर कैपेक्स ट्रेंड मिक्स हमें लगता है। ओवरऑल वैल्यूएशंस आर एक्सपेंसिव। अगर इसमें हमारे पिक की बात करेंगे तो वी लाइक एलएनटी, एचएएल एंड कल्पतरू प्रोजेक्ट्स, दीज आर आवर प्रेफर्ड पिक्स इन द स्पेस। So this is all from my side. Over to Sumit.
Thank you very much. Coming to IT sector, obviously the sector is in limelight for bad reasons for quite some time. It is the sector is testing the patience of all the investors. The companies are very good in this sector, but because of the external factors or the macros which has changed the industry transformation which is happening, the sector is in is not performing well. If you look at the Q1 FY27 numbers or results that reinforced concerns with a weak to mixed start. So Q1 or first half is considered to be better than second half for IT services companies. And in this quarter also, the performance has been weak to mixed. So tier 1 revenues were largely flat to down on a sequential basis on a constant currency basis. The demand environment remains challenging, postponing spending decisions, changing their spending patterns towards AI, and insourcing their incremental IT requirements. So these are the three challenges which the sector or companies are facing. Companies are postponing or the clients are postponing their spending decisions. They are not very clear should they spend on this technology or not, or should they wait for new technology which might come. So that is the uncertainty is creating a delayed spending environment. We expect FY27 and FY28 net profit of the IT services companies in Nifty 50 index to grow by 7% and 5% respectively. In this challenging environment, we have to focus on companies who has a full stack services available, who can enjoy the benefit of client consolidation, who has the capability or who is investing in AI and trying to grab the opportunity which AI is bringing for them. In this space, we like Infosys and TCS in large cap space. In fact, Tech Mahindra also looks good to us. In the mid cap space, Coforge is very attractive and very strong company, which we like. In mid cap, most of the stocks are still trading at expensive valuation given the earnings growth trajectory. So you can focus on these 3 or 4 stocks. Coming to oil and gas sector, again, sector is in limelight because of the geopolitical factors. Earnings predictability has become very challenging because the commodity risk plus government policies. So Q1 FY27 downstream companies PAT was marginally higher. Downstream companies, when I'm referring to refining companies, oil marketing companies. Downstream companies' earnings have high sensitivity to automobile marketing margin assumptions. Marketing margin decline in recent weeks, which is negative for them. Higher crude oil prices will definitely impact their raw material cost, their operating cost, their working capital interest cost. So that becomes a challenge for them. We expect sector PAT to grow by 32% in FY27, led by higher profits of coal, ONGC, and Reliance. We expect PAT of ONGC to grow at a whopping 59% in FY27. So, given the geopolitical concerns which are going on, we believe one can focus on ONGC, which is offering a decent 5.5% type dividend or around 5% dividend yield. Valuations are decent, and because of the geopolitical concern, if the crude price inches up, then the company is going to get benefited more. The concerns remains government policies, commodity risk, and any delay in or any burden of OMCs which if the government passes on to ONGC, that remains a challenge for the sector. That's all from my side.
Yes, thank you, Sumit sir. Hello to all. So अभी अगर हम banks की बात करें, so Q1 FY27 was a good quarter for banks. बस एक NIMS में they reported mixed set of performance. So for banks which we cover, they have reported a PAT growth of close to 14%. इसमें जो center owned banks है, they have reported a PAT growth of close to 9.5%. और जो non-center owned banks है, they have reported a PAT growth of close to 15%. So on the PAT growth side, the performance for banks was pretty healthy. Now, if we move on to the 3 important metrics, सबसे पहले अगर हम loan growth की बात करें, so ये quarter में for banks which we cover, cumulatively on an average जो loan growth रहा है banks का, that has been close to 17% YOY. इन द मंथ ऑफ जून अगर हम देखें आरबीआई का डेटा आया था, जो सेक्टोरियल लोन ग्रोथ है पूरे इंडस्ट्री का, दैट हैज बीन क्लोज टू 18%. सो जून के मंथ में पूरे सेक्टर 18% से ग्रो हुआ. इन Q1FY27 फॉर बैंक्स विच वी कवर, द लोन ग्रोथ वाज 17%. सो ये 17% का ग्रोथ, 18% का ग्रोथ, these are very healthy numbers and good sign for the medium term outlook for the banks. इसके अंदर अगर हम देखें, so the growth has been pretty secular. Retail loan growth has been good. जून मंथ में it grew by 16%. जो लार्ज टिकट साइज लोन ग्रोथ है वहां भी हमें एक रिवाइवल देखने मिला है. इवन ये जो माइक्रो फाइनेंस लोन ग्रोथ है वहां भी एक स्ट्रॉन्ग रिवाइवल देखने मिला है, ड्यू टू विच दी स्मॉल फाइनेंस कंपनीज रिपोर्टेड गुड growth on their loan book. So on the loan growth side, the picture has been pretty healthy. अभी अगर हम मार्जिन्स की बात करें, so margins में the performance was mixed. It was bank to bank differ रहा है. So ये quarter में we were expecting कि जो PSU banks हो गए, they will see some dip in the margins. But they have actually reported an improvement in their margin on a sequential basis. और जो non-center owned banks है, they have reported a mixed sort of a performance, primarily because जो उनके yields on loans है, that has been under pressure because जो large ticket size corporate loans है, there is a lot of competition going on, and a lot of banks have also grown their high yielding retail loan book at a relatively smaller pace. So overall margin side में the performance was here and there. Yes, we would have liked कि अगर full recovery margins की हमें ये quarter में दिख जाती, वो हमें देखने नहीं मिली. But we are of the opinion that going forward, we should certainly expect stabilization in the net interest margin for the banks. And now finally, अगर हम slippages ratios की बात करें कि how did the book performed overall for the banks. So Q1 again was a pristine quarter for all the banks. Slippage ratio for the banks were under a control. You be it retail side, corporate side, दोनों side में the performance on the book quality was pretty healthy. For banks which we cover, जो gross NPA ratio है, it stood at 1.9% level, and जो net NPA ratio है, it stood at 0.4% level. Again, these are pretty healthy and good numbers. So overall, a pretty decent performance for banks in Q1, with loan growth picking up pace and margin stabilizing. We can expect good performance to continue going ahead. Valuation जो पूरे banking space का है, private banks का especially, is pretty fair, it's pretty good, and therefore it's a sector which we continue to like and recommend to our investors. So this was on the banking side. अगर हम non-banking financial services की बात करें, so Q1FY27 arguably, as you can see, was one of the better quarters for the entire NBFC names. Across all the three metrics, performance was very good. Loan growth was pretty good for all these names. You beat Shriram, Chola, all of them reported a pretty good loan growth. Sequentially, the loan growth was pretty strong at close to 4.2 to 7.2% for all the names. और ये जो लोन ग्रोथ हमें देखने मिली है, अगेन इट वाज वेरी सेक्युलर इन नेचर. सो एमएसएमई में देयर वाज गुड ग्रोथ, लैप में देयर वाज गुड ग्रोथ, कमर्शियल व्हीकल में देयर वाज गुड ग्रोथ, कॉर्पोरेट साइड में देयर वाज गुड ग्रोथ. सो अ सेक्युलर लोन ग्रोथ इज गुड बिकॉज दिस गिव्स अस मोर कॉन्फिडेंस कि ये ट्रेंड मेंटेन रहेगा इन द मीडियम टर्म. अफोर्डेबल हाउसिंग फाइनेंस नेम जो है, काफी क्वार्टर से देवर रिपोर्टिंग stagnant sort of a loan growth. But in Q1 again, we saw that a lot of these names have started reporting good loan growth revival. So वो भी एक अच्छा sign है for all these affordable housing finance names. So on the loan growth part, again for NBFCs too, these are good signs. Margins की अगर हम बात करें, again no issue here for NBFCs. Most of these NBFCs reported better margins on a sequential basis, primarily because of the lower cost of funds. And finally, even NBFCs में quality of the book में there was no real concern. Across segments, the performance was quite good. The only segment where we are little cautious is on the small scale MSME loan segment. Apart from that, the loan growth was, the asset quality performance for NBFCs were also pretty good. So even for NBFCs, we think this is a good time to enter into these segments and staying invested in names like Bajaj Finserv, Shriram Finance, Home First. These are good quality names for a medium to long term perspective. So this was a brief on the lending space. I hand over
the call to Gaurav now.
Yeah, thank you. So now giving you an update for the insurance sector. So the sector has been not been in some limelight over the past, you can say 6 months or a year. But these the performance reported by life insurance companies or the health insurance company has been on a good side, which has been which feels like being completely ignored. So the life insurance companies reported around 8 to 36% of the AP growth in the Q1. Growth in the traditional business was big driver for most, with par and annuity taking over. Most importantly, the VNB margins reported by the life insurance companies was very strong, which approximately around 200 to 300 basis points. We see a large part of it coming from LIC and SBI LIC and Axis Max Life Insurance in the results. Talking about the AP growth, which was strong for overall all the life insurance companies, but set aside HDFC Life performance for the quarter 1 was on the softer side. We have seen a degrowth in VNB margins and plus on the AP side on a Q-on-Q basis by 2%. Rest apart, all the life insurance companies posted very good numbers. We have a positive view on the all the life insurance stocks, as they have been trading at a pretty lower valuation, all because of the overhang of the commission regulation. Particularly the LIC stock, which has been trading at a zero point 0.6 of enterprise value of FY 28 estimates, while the company reported one of the strongest results over the quarters in its history and the life insurance space. While speaking of the non-life insurance space, or you can say the health insurance. The companies reported a strong quarter, enjoying the post GST benefits, while the new business growth was something around odd 37 to 41%. The combined ratios has also seen an improvement for various names like Star Health and Niva Bupa. Uh, the on the other hand, the non-life multi-liners remain under the overhang of higher claims in the motor third-party insurance, or the recent judgment on the compensation to the homemakers, which due to which we had seen a dramatic fall in stock like ICICI Lombard and other stocks. We retain an overall positive rating on the space and an attractive rating on the space, with positive view on most of the stocks under coverage. The overhang of regulation has weighted on the life insurance stocks. The sector has been seen as resilient to the changes in the regulation and taxation, recovering after a short period of realignment. Uh, Majorly, we have a positive on the stock, and our preferred fix from the spaces LIC and SBI Life Insurance. Further, speaking about the capital markets, so the capital market companies under coverage delivered around 29% earning YOY earnings growth and a 25% YOY revenue growth. For broader capital markets, these numbers were around 28% and 30% respectively. So going inside deep, the AMC companies had reported a better quarters in comparison with the broking and the RTAs and the other stocks. Uh, Broader operating yield has remained stable for all the AMCs, excluding HDFC AMC, which reported a improvement in overall operating yields due to the increase in equity AUM. The AMC companies reported around 12 to 27% earning growth overall. One of the key highlights here were the listed companies highlighted in the call as majorly all the listed AMC entities were able to mitigate the impact of the recent TER regulations to its distributors and RTA stocks, which keep it revenue neutral for AMC. While the main issue regarding the AMC stocks remain their valuation, which we feel is all priced in considering all the growth. Uh, Therefore, we have an positive view on this space, but we would like for some downside activity, or when stocks are at a comfortable prices. We have an positive view majorly on all the stocks of AMC, barring NAM India, Nippon India, and UTI AMC, which we feel have reported a softish quarter. Now talking about the RTAs, both the RTAs reported, CAMS and KFIN reported inline results with their expectations, but the strong management commentary for KFIN to back up its margin to around 40 to 50 percentage, led to a significant rally in the stock. CAMS remain a clear winner in the execution-led story with better cost control and lower yield. But we have a positive view on both the stocks here. Now talking about the broking stocks, this quarter was remained soft for as in broking industry as a whole due to softer volume growth and softer volume on the trading side. But the companies under coverage, namely Angel and Grow, have reported good quarters as they been the market leaders in the space, and their growth in the MTF book have offsetted the quarter, uh, softer trading activity in this quarter. Both the companies have reported better margins and the operating leverage kicking in, leading to greater profitability for the company. We have a positive view on both the stocks, but the recent introduction of cash has softened the volumes again, due to which we have seen a recent corrections in the broking stocks, which gives us more confidence for the stock, and it could be a good buy from current levels. Speaking about the rating agencies reported better than expected results largely due to stronger non-rating growth and margin performance, whereas we have seen a greater revenue coming from the credit growth which from NBFCs and banks. So rating agencies were a direct beneficiary for these growth. We remain constructive on this name given the valuations currently which they are trading. So overall, for capital market as a theme, we have a positive view with 361 HDFC, AMC, and rating agencies being our top pick. That's all from our side.
Thank you, Gaurav. We will now open the floor for Q&A. So ask your questions now. I'll start with some questions that we already have. So first question is for Arun Agarwal. Arun sir, one of the participants wants to know your view on Tata Motors.
See, Tata Motors, again, there are two companies now. One is the passenger vehicle and the other is commercial vehicles. So in commercial vehicles, we are positive. The numbers were decent this quarter. And the volume growth also has been, picking up in the CV segment. So on the commercial vehicle side, we are positive on Tata Motors. There's another company which is Tata Motors PV, that's TMPV. There we see challenges, and these challenges are largely on two counts. One is that while the domestic business in terms of revenues and sales are doing well, but there could be some margin, raw material headwinds that we talked about. Apart from that, the JLR business, we think it will, still there are a lot of challenges there for JLR business, and that's why we are not that very optimistic on the passenger vehicle business right now for Tata Motors. So Tata Motors, someone is looking at, then commercial vehicle business, yes, we are positive, but not so on the Tata Motors passenger.
Thank you. Next question. Just a second. So next question is from Puneet Jain. He is asking, what about HDFC Life Insurance? For this, I'll go to Gaurav. Gaurav, would you like to answer this?
Yeah, sure. So for HDFC Life, apart from keeping about the all life insurance company, HDFC Life has reported a soft quarter where the headline print was weak with 9% VNB growth, slightly soft AP growth, 6%. Business fared well with 17% YOY growth. So we expect the improvement in traction with the HDFC Bank over next few months. But the valuation currently which it is trading, we have a very positive view on the stock. So that is all about HDFC Life.
Thank you, Gaurav. Next question is from IT space. So the participant is asking why IT stocks are falling again. They are falling from the last few days. For this, I'll go to Sumit Pokhar now. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Definitely, you are right. In the recent past, we had seen first the IT stocks started moving up, and again, then we have seen some correction in the stocks. The sector, it's not one company which is falling, and rather all the IT services companies are falling. If you see, the geopolitical concerns have again come up meaningfully, which is not positive for IT sector. First, second, crude prices started inching up. That led to higher inflation expectation. US 10-year yields are also inching up. That is also negative for IT sector per se. So already the demand environment was challenging given that AI is reducing or leading to a deflation in the revenue for IT services companies. We believe that it's the uncertainty which is killing the sector right now. We don't know how much revenue deflation can come in, how much volume growth will happen. Margins are expected to definitely improve, but that also cannot subside the concerns of revenue deflation. So we believe that you need to be very selective as of now for IT sector. We might get a better price or better entry point in the sector. Focus on quality stocks, which we have mentioned. Most of the mid-cap IT companies are still trading at a very expensive valuation, so one can avoid that. Uh, is that sector in a doldrum and will continue for very long? I don't think so. We believe that this will give a golden opportunity to buy quality stocks at a reasonable valuation. It just we need some green shoots, and we are waiting for it. And then thereafter, we can see a meaningful uprise in the stock prices from a longer term perspective.
Sure, thank you. For the next question, I'll go to Pankaj sir. Pankaj sir, Chaitali Sawant is asking for view on NHPC.
Yeah, on NHPC we have a sell rating and fair value is 74 rupees. अगर रिजल्ट्स की बात करें तो रिजल्ट्स ओके था, बट इसमें क्या है, दो प्रोजेक्ट्स इनके जो हैं वहाँ पर जो टैरिफ ऑर्डर्स पेंडिंग है. So due to that, they are recognizing lower revenues and that is impacting profits as well. And CERC का जो order है that is still pending. So unless until that is resolved, we see the earnings getting impacted. And overall execution भी इनका weak रहा है. In the past, we have seen, though the project pipeline is quite strong, looking at the government thrust on the hydropower projects, particularly in the northern part of the country. So अभी हमारा सेल व्यू है एंड 74 रुपीज टारगेट प्राइस है.
Right, thank you. Next question is for Amarjeet. Amarjeet, Eternal पे अपना view बताओ.
So basically we have buy rating on this stock, and अगर हम देखें तो इस क्वार्टर में कंपनी ने अच्छा रिपोर्ट किया है, all the parameters in line with our estimates. And अगर Blinkit की बात करें, quick commerce की, the net order value grew 86% year on year, and also we have seen the margin improvement continuously despite the intense competition. That's a very positive points for the Zomato. And on the Zomato's food business is also, अगर देखें तो grew 20% net order value, and EBITDA margin reached record 5.6%. And so overall अगर दोनों segment में strong numbers है, margin improvement है, and we are positive on the stock with the fair value 395 rupees and buy rating.
Thank you, Amarjeet. Now, due to time constraint, I'll take one last question for the day. The query is on Varun Beverages for Amit Agarwal. Amit Agarwal, would you like to take this question?
Yeah, Varun, we have an ad rating with a target price of 500 rupees. Though we have brought down the target price from rupees 540. Varun, for the last few quarters, have been reporting slightly below expected volume growth. This is primarily because company has been facing lot of competition from a new brand in the market, that is Campa Cola. Campa Cola currently primarily exists in north and east part of the country, and they intend to expand to south and west as well. This we believe can further lead to competition in for Varun Beverages. However, we are bullish on the prospects of Varun Beverage as they are into multiple products, and we see their earnings growing at around 15 to 18% for the next 2 quarters. and we are positive on the stock with a target price of 500 rupees.
Thank you. With this, I will like to invite Shrikant sir for his closing comments.
Yeah. थैंक यू रेनी। सो अगर हम इस पर्टिकुलर मार्केट के ट्रेंड को अगर देखें और फंडामेंटल्स मैक्रोज इन सबको अगर हम कंबाइन करने की अगर कोशिश करते हैं तो जैसे मैंने कहा कि सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट क्या होता है कि मार्केट में अपसाइड कितनी है और डाउनसाइड कितनी है। अगर मार्केट में अपसाइड अगर लिमिटेड है तो फिर मार्केट में ओवरऑल प्रेशर बनता है और पैनिक सिचुएशंस भी आते हैं। बट अगर मार्केट में डाउनसाइड अगर लिमिटेड है तो एवरी डाउन मूव में बाइंग आता है और मार्केट वापस से रिबाउंड करता है। सिमिलर सॉर्ट ऑफ पैटर्न हमने मार्च के बाद देखा। वॉर के बाद मार्केट में एक बड़ा क्रैश आया था लेकिन 22,000 वाला इंडेक्स वापस से हमने 25,000 तक देखा था। और रिसेंटली अभी 10 days बैक when the market was around 23,600 from there also slight positive news पे मार्केट ने 24,800 तक के लेवल्स को हिट किया था, यानी 1200 पॉइंट्स इन जस्ट 6 days हमने देखे थे। तो अभी भी हमें यही लग रहा है कि मार्केट का जो सेल ऑफ है अगर आप देखेंगे तो ग्रेजुअली मार्केट गिर रहा है, काफी स्लोली स्टेडीली मार्केट नीचे आ रहा है। मार्केट इज वेटिंग फॉर सम पॉजिटिव्स, कहाँ से कुछ पॉजिटिव आ जाए उसको रिएक्ट करे, लेकिन दैट पॉजिटिव इज कंप्लीटली मिसिंग। क्रूड 91 के करीब आ चुका है और बिकॉज क्रूड बढ़ते जा रहा है, 10 year बॉन्ड यील्ड और बाकी के जितने भी बड़े बड़े कंट्रीज हैं, जापान जर्मनी, वहां पे भी यही प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है। तो डेफिनेटली शॉर्ट टर्म से लेकर मैं मीडियम टर्म कहूंगा कि थोड़ा सा दिक्कत वाला रहेगा बिकॉज ये जो मैक्रोज है वो प्रेशराइज कर रहे हैं मार्केट को। बट यहाँ से मुझे लगता है कि अगर 6 to 12 months का अगर व्यू है तो डेफिनेटली इस मार्केट में आप अगर इन्वेस्ट करोगे तो उसके रिटर्न्स काफी अच्छे बन सकते हैं। और लास्ट क्वार्टर के भी नंबर्स काफी अच्छे थे वैसे देखा जाए तो, यानी कि एटलीस्ट वॉर के कंपैरिजन में नंबर्स अच्छे आए थे। उसके बाद लग रहा था कि अभी वॉर हो गया है फुल फ्लेज और उसके बीच में फिर नंबर्स कैसे आते हैं, लेकिन इस बार के भी नंबर्स अच्छे आए। और यहाँ से अगर बेस्ड ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलरली क्वार्टरली नंबर्स एंड कमेंट्री फ्रॉम कॉर्पोरेट्स, हमें लग रहा है कि Q2 के भी नंबर्स उतने ही अच्छे रहेंगे। तो ओवरऑल हमें लग रहा है कि मार्केट में डाउनसाइड लिमिटेड है और ऐसे मार्केट में आपको क्या करना चाहिए, इन्वेस्टमेंट करके चलना चाहिए। स्पेशली लार्ज कैप स्टॉक्स के ऊपर आपका फोकस ज्यादा होना चाहिए। देखिए मिड कैप स्मॉल कैप में डेफिनेटली काफी अच्छा मोमेंटम है, स्टॉक्स में अच्छी एक्टिविटी देखने मिल रही है, लेकिन इनके वैल्यूएशंस भी अगर आप कंपेयर करेंगे एज कंपेयर टू मार्च 2026 से लेकर अभी तक, तो इनमें काफी अच्छा हमने एक अपसाइड आते हुए देखा है। बट लार्ज कैप में अभी भी वैल्यूएशंस काफी अट्रैक्टिव है। नो डाउट कि मार्केट में प्रेशर बना है, एफआईएस की अगर एक्टिविटी अगर ऐसी रही, अगर उन्होंने अगर कंसिस्टेंटली सेलिंग करते रहे तो लार्ज कैप स्टॉक्स और भी प्रेशर में आएंगे। लेकिन इवेंचुअली अगर मार्केट को रिबाउंड करना है और पॉइंट वाइज अगर मार्केट को रिबाउंड करना है तो मार्केट में लार्ज कैप के सिवा और बाकी के सेक्टर का चलना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाएगा उस वक्त। तो हमें ये लग रहा है कि इन लेवल्स पे अगर आपको आपके पोर्टफोलियो पे अगर अल्फा जनरेट करना है तो लार्ज कैप स्टॉक्स में आप बिल्कुल इन्वेस्ट कीजिए। मिड कैप स्मॉल कैप में आप काफी सिलेक्टिवली रहिए और हम हमारे वेबिनार्स में मंथली जो स्ट्रैटेजी होती है या जो भी रिव्यूज हम लोग कंडक्ट करते हैं उसमें हम लोग बताते हैं। आज के हमारे वेबिनार में भी हमने कुछ स्टॉक्स कवर किए थे कि ये पर्टिकुलर सेक्टर में कौन से स्टॉक्स हमें अच्छे लग रहे हैं और उसी के बेसिस पे आप भी आपकी इन्वेस्टमेंट स्ट्रैटेजी बना सकते हो। तो ब्रॉडली हमें यही लग रहा है, बेस्ड ऑन टेक्निकल्स भी अगर देखा जाए तो मुझे लग रहा है कि मार्केट में 24,200 के लेवल्स को मार्केट ने तोड़ा है। बहुत ही वर्स्ट केस सिनारियो बनता है तो मार्केट में 23,800 तक के लेवल्स आ सकते हैं, लेकिन इन लेवल्स पे हमें लगता है कि शॉर्ट लिव्ड मार्केट का फॉल रहेगा, मार्केट वापस रिबाउंड कर सकता है। एट द सेम टाइम 24,500 बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट लेवल है और 24,500 के लेवल्स को अगर मार्केट क्रॉस कर लेता है तो उसके बाद हमें और ट्रेंडिंग एक्टिविटी देखने मिल सकती है। तो ये ओवरऑल मार्केट का स्ट्रक्चर बना हुआ है और अकॉर्डिंगली आप इस पर्टिकुलर मार्केट में इन्वेस्टमेंट्स और ट्रेडिंग करके चल सकते हैं। दैट्स ऑल।
Thank you, sir. With this, we have reached the end of today's webinar. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.